Jim Harbaugh and Matt Weiss. And this story, I don't even know how Jim Harbaugh says this stuff with a straight face anymore. If you've watched this show for any modicum of time, you know that I believe Jim Harbaugh, in my opinion, is a scumbag. I think the guy's a liar. I think he's a terrible administrator in college football and should never, ever, ever be allowed to be the head coach of another college program. I think whether it's cheeseburgers for kids or lying to the NCAA, the Big Ten, the whole sign stealing Connor Stallions is just trying to sell vacuums thing, Jim Harbaugh's a scumbag. And I think his evacuation to the NFL, leaving Michigan high and dry, is one of the great tragedies in recent college sports. But I also think when you look at Jim Harbaugh and you look at just everything that has gone on in that program while he was the head coach, for him to talk about Matt Weiss and be like, oh, I had no idea. This right here is the very living definition of a scumbag.
School for a second. It's been in the news, Matt Weiss. Just curious, your interactions with him, what you thought about him as a person, as a coach, if you had any idea this was, this would be something that he would be a part of.
Yeah. Just shocked. Just completely shocked. Disturbed.
I read the indictment, right? It looked like maybe the first report came out and he coached one game for you after that. Why was he allowed to coach the TCU game? I don't know if you knew about some of the what you knew ahead of time, I guess.
Did not know anything until after it was after the TCU game that we found out that there was allegations and you said it. I mean, indictment. That's not a word not a good word. So sympathy for the victims and for Matt's family, and shocking.
The victims that you created. Because what Jim Harbaugh is trying to do here, as most scumbags do, they're trying to completely push off any responsibility. What did John Harbaugh say? Oh, you didn't know? John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens, who also employed Matt Weiss? Jim Harbaugh, who employed Matt Weiss multiple times, but had no idea.
I never knew anything.
That's what these guys do, is they push off responsibility. They take nothing as their own actions causing these behaviors. And again, I'm going to say the same thing about scumbag Jim Harbaugh that I've said about scumbag Jim Harbaugh the entire time. Did you know what was happening? Oh, no, I had no idea. Lack of institutional control. Did you know that Connor Stallions was selling vacuums with, Balake Corum on his LLC and
sign stealer guy?
Well, Corum never signed that LLC. So then why wasn't Connor Stallions prosecuted for fraud? Forgery, fraud. That's a multiple federal level felonies. Oh, because he didn't probably forge anything. Hey, I'm just curious. Did you know that Connor Stallions was, sign stealing and sending people out to other venues and using a public Venmo account and using public ticket accounts and uploading videos from cell phones at stadiums to a cloud? Well, Monty, you don't know that. I do. The people who went to those games have talked openly about it. And again, the Venmo account was public. Jim, did you know that? No, I had no idea. Lack of institutional control. So you did know, okay, you're a scumbag. Well, you're a scumbag anyway. You're more of a scumbag. Oh, you didn't know you have no control of your football program. You're a scumbag. Either way, he's a scumbag in my opinion. And I think Jim Harbaugh is what's wrong with college football. Notice Jimmy runs away to the NFL, and who hires him? Those with no scruples in Los Angeles who should still be playing in San Diego. No coincidence there. But what did Jim really do? He didn't go take an NFL job. He evacuated to an NFL job.
Oh,
Because shockingly, Ward Manuel, the athletic director at Michigan, who I've told you many times, yeah, he's a scumbag too, who oversaw Juwan Howard in the basketball program and Jim Harbaugh and all that stuff. There's, scumbag Jim Harbaugh overseen by scumbag Ward Manuel. Anyway, they were trying to make Jim Harbaugh the highest paid coach in college football. The highest paid coach. Why didn't you take that deal? Oh, because they wouldn't give you absolution from NCAA punishment. Yeah, and they wouldn't insulate you from losing your money when you got suspended by the NCAA, which you and I both know as a scumbag, Jim, you were going to get suspended. And that's why, in my opinion, he evacuated to the NFL. Jim Harbaugh doesn't own up to anything. Jim Harbaugh, this great Michigan man who's going to save the program, tarnish the program. Oh, but Monty, the Big Ten was so out of control. Okay, you went to court. You had a petition for a stay to stop any punishment against Jim Harbaugh, sitting on the desk of a judge who not only went to Michigan law and graduated Michigan law, but played football at Michigan. So you had this document in front of a judge who couldn't not have, it's not possible to have gotten a more friendly venue. Funny thing is, right before you were supposed to go and argue your case, you withdrew the petition. Man, what sense does that make?
Yeah, what the hell happened?
I know how you explain it. You're a scumbag. And now, one of the biggest scandals in the history of college football ever with Matt Weiss, where the FBI was on campus and you guys all told me I was full of it and I'm a liar and I'm making stuff up. And it was Ryan Day's brother who's a private investigator. Remember all that? Yeah, that same story. Turns out the FBI was on campus. Turns out we were right about that and computer crimes were committed.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
And how do we know that? Because there's a 14-count indictment against Matt Weiss where he's alleged. Do you guys understand what he did? He hacked NCAA athletes' social media accounts, downloaded their intimate photos, and took notes about their bodies and their sexual activities. We hire only the best people. And now you're saying you had no idea that this was happening. Right.
I
Jimmy.
want the best people.
Right, Jim Harbaugh. You had no idea. You could not possibly have known. That's why you sat there completely emotionless. Do you blink or is that Botox? Just checking. You're a psychopath and a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never, I don't think he should ever have gotten a job anywhere else because I don't know who. Oh, the Spanos family. What am I thinking? There's only one other family in this country that would have hired Jim Harbaugh. You know, the ones who absolutely screwed San Diego? Yeah, those guys who are now in LA renting stadium space from the Rams, those guys. Yeah, you hired Jim Harbaugh and his staff from Michigan. Congratulations. Great hire. Great hire. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. And I think that, it's rich that Jim, every chance he gets, I mean, every chance he gets stirs the pot and wants to, say a bunch of inflammatory things. And then in the one-off opportunity with the media wants to say sympathy for the victims and his family. Like nobody believes that
Jake,
you
that
really,
makes it better.
Dude, nobody believes that you give a damn about, about any of this.
Jake, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers, dude. Thoughts and prayers to all the females that Matt Weiss has violated now.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers to all the folks who had their information illegally accessed. Thoughts and prayers to the families of folks who are going to get exposed. Thoughts and prayers, dude. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is. Because we have a long list of donations.
Just sorted at the top there by added date.
I did.
It should be the top one then.
Okay. I don't know. Is that it? No, that's not it. We already got
the $5 donation.
$5 one. Thank you. Let me find it. Jake Bluetooth it to me. There it
download.
is. No, there it is right there.
Yeah. There we go.
Jake Bluetooth it to me, so it goes into a download folder that is full. $5 donation.
Maury.
From Maury Alvarez. Boy, Maury's trying. He wants that Amazon gift card. Monty Show kids, I'm so bricked up right now. I have Dog's first ass vacuum lined up. And shout out to Mo Bamba. See, now these are all show references.
Right.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
These are so. Is he moving up the ladder?
I mean, those are great. Those are definitely great references.
You know, that could very well be interesting.
I mean, we're definitely going to have to review the stack again to see where this kind of lines up.
All right. I think. Why are you guys DMing me on LinkedIn? Don't do that.
Are you serious that you have takes on LinkedIn right now?
That's my no zone. $300 is what we need to raise. That's what's left. Let's knock that out right now. If we just get 10 people to donate $30. If we get 6 people to donate $50, if one of you guys would like to be the home run hitter and donate $300, $1, $5, $50, $100, we'll take it. We have 42 minutes to get $300 in the door. Let's hook it up right here. Advocates donations on Venmo. Make your donation on Venmo. Send Jake a screenshot, SLC Jake, on Instagram. And it's technically SLC Jake _ on Instagram or Twitter. You can send it to
Via
both
social
places.
media.
On social media. Make it happen. Let's do it. Feeding hungry kids. We need $300. Thanks to Maury, we are down to a nice round number of $300. If you have it in your wallet and you have it in your heart, let's hook it up. Mike Smith, the more they show Harbaugh, the more he looks like Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys show. Dude, he looks like a psycho to me.
Weird dude.
He does. Plots and liars trying to scheme and control their little world. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
I used to hate Jim Harbaugh, but the dude is on the spectrum, so I kind of appreciate his success. Wow.
Wow, bro.
Wow. Unless NCAA changed the rules, I believe the schools who move to D1 have to wait a year or two before they are bowl or tournament eligible. They do. But decent long-term plan to add them. You would add them right now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt that you would add them right now, because why wouldn't you? You absolutely would add them right now.
Yeah.
Which I think is there's just Sacramento State is what he's talking about. I think that's huge. All right, couple more football stories to wrap up. Did you guys hear what Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Eagles, said? Jake came in today absolutely bricked up over this.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so bricked up right now.
Jake now says that Howie Roseman is his favorite GM in the NFL.
For us, we have some objective things that I can't even overrule, and they're ours, but for one, like violence against women, it's just not for us,
right.
That doesn't mean, so it's like, I won't even watch them. I don't even want to talk about it. It just is deal breakers for us. So I can't go, but he's really good and he did it 10 years ago and he learned from it. It just doesn't work for us.
Any questions? You
gotta love it.
Any issues, questions, stipulations about what Howie just said? I don't think this is that hard to understand. And I think this is the stance the league should take. This is what the stance should be. If you are found guilty in the court of law for domestic violence or violence against women, it's over.
It is.
You're done.
I think we've talked about this on a regular basis now. My belief is there should be a zero tolerance policy. If you are accused and adjudicated guilty of domestic violence, you're done playing professional sports.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of it. It is, to me, it's the one rule, even more so than gambling. It is the one rule you cannot break. And we've talked about this with Pete Rose, the same theology, the same theory, the same everything. You knew this rule.
Yeah.
You still went out and bet on baseball. You knew that if you were convicted of domestic violence, and I'm the guy who also says if you're convicted of a felony, you should no longer be eligible to play professional sports. Simple as that. You knew the rule. And of course, there's going to be the Xavier Worthies of the world, right? There's going to be the guys who find themselves in tough situations. Xavier Worthy should in no way, shape, or form lose his career over what that girl allegedly did.
And why? Because it was sniffed out. They went through the process.
That's right.
Reviewed all the evidence, took stack of the whole situation, or stock of the whole situation.
That's right.
And it's very clear that he was the victim in that particular situation.
And then there's Trey Hendrickson with the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is, my friends, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to bangle. That's what they're going to do. Yeah. And I am somebody who I'm amazed by it. I want to not be amazed by this.
Why do organizations struggle mightily to handle like the PR game with their players? Like, there are organizations in the league where you really never hear from them. They get talked about. People speculate. And it's like the Steelers, right? When's the last time you heard from Steelers ownership? When's the last time you heard from like the brass of the Steelers? Well, I can't tell you the last time. Now, we hear from Mike Tomlin all the time. He's the head coach. That makes sense. He's got media obligations, has to talk to the media by CBA rule. Like, we get it. But organizations in the NFL, I feel like some of them really, really struggle to understand how to play the game. Whether you look at Jera, whether you look at, Shad Khan, the Spanoses, I'd even say, until recent times, the Bears. I mean, the Bears were not good at handling the media.
Jera.
Jera, obviously. Like, there are just some organizations that are not good at this. And I look at this Bengals situation, and here we go again. Star player not being handled well by ownership.
This is Katie Blackburn, one of the highest ranking officials in the Cincinnati Bengals, right? She is a power player there. She's the executive vice president of the Bengals. So she was at the league meetings, at which she said about Trey Hendrickson, as you're trying to put all these pieces together, you have certain limitations eventually, Blackburn said. So Trey, seemed to feel strongly about it and thought the strength of interest out there was going to be at a certain level. And so we said that it would be okay to at least explore. And so we don't do that all the time. But in this case, we felt like it was the right thing to do, case by case. Okay.
I don't disagree. Players are case by case, situations. Amongst all the wild ass stuff that Jerry Jones said yesterday at the league meetings that we talked about, one of the things that I think he was right about is that it is case by case. Every player is going to be different. You have to evaluate players based on a number of factors, right? Obviously, their availability is number one. How healthy can they stay? Number one. Number two, what's their talent level? And number three, how much can they impact a football game? So when I hear her make that statement, and
it doesn't seem that inflammatory.
It's not like that. It's not like she said, "Oh, well, he's being an asshat by asking for a ton of money," in that particular statement.
And then she says that it's on him to be happy at some point, Trey Hendrickson. She thinks, quote, he should be happy at a certain rate that maybe he doesn't think he'd be happy at. Oh, boy. Look out. So let me get this right, Ms. Blackburn. He should take the money and like it. That's what she just said. Trey Hendrickson is not happy at all about what she said. Hendrickson said, quote, this was a little disappointing because communication has been poor over the last couple of months. That's something I hold in high regard. They have not communicated with my agent directly. It's been something that's been a little frustrating.
So, okay.
So again, here we go. Another ownership group refusing to talk to an agent and going to the league meetings and saying at some point, Trey Hendrickson just has to take what we're offering and be happy with it.
Okay. First of all, that's not true. Players don't have to take what you're offering and be happy with it, number one. Now, number two, Trey Hendrickson's a phenomenal football player.
And he's got a lot left in the tank.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about like the number one edge rusher in the league or anything like that, right? That's not what we're talking about here. But he is a good football player, bro. He is someone you want on your team. He is someone that can impact a football game in a variety of different ways. And the idea that once again, and this seems to be a theme in the league meetings this year. Every single year in the league meetings, there's always a theme, right? Whether, and I feel like this year's themes are rule changes, like with the tush push thing and all, and the overtime stuff. And should owners talk to agents, or can they talk directly to players? Those are kind of the two things that I feel like are our takeaways from the league meetings this year. And I have to say, I agree with Micah. I agree with Trey. It's disrespectful as hell for you to think that you can play hardball with me directly and circumvent my agent. Why do I have an agent? Like, if you're a player, why the hell do you have an agent if you're the one that's got to go and meet with oversalted McGriddle and try to negotiate a deal? What are you paying dude for?
And what's the win? What's the win of usurping the agent? What's the win of pissing off Trey Hendricks?
Well, because the obvious inferences by these ownership groups and more Jera and less the Bengals, but the obvious inference is, hey, well, it's me. I'm the owner of the team, and Micah's one of 3 people that have my phone number, and he can call me at any time, and we're taking care of him. And
what do these guys have in common? Trey Hendrickson is arguably the best defensive player on the Bengals. Micah Parsons is inarguably the best defensive player on the Cowboys.
Might be the best defensive player in the league, bro.
And you don't communicate with their agents. And we wonder why these teams are consistently broken. We wonder why.
And I have to point out, it's awfully convenient. And we see this across the league with ownership groups. It doesn't get talked about as much, but I think it's awfully convenient that we don't hear about ownership groups trying to talk directly to mid-level player in the NFL.
No.
Right? Buddy, the safety that plays on first and second down but doesn't play third down and gets paid like $2 million a year or whatever. You're happy to talk to his agent. Oh, but it's Micah and it's highest paid non-quarterback ever? Yeah, I can't talk to the agent, dude. God forbid we would, go the proper channel here and talk to the agent in order to get something done. And it's just convenient.
And as usual, it's some of the worst football in the league. The Dallas Cowboys, most of the time, are not great. The Cincinnati Bengals, to their credit, paid Jamar, they paid T, they paid Joe.
Did they negotiate directly with those guys?
I would assume not.
Oh, well, why is that? Oh, because it's Joe Burrow and it's Jamar Chase and it's T. Higgins, and you were never having the options. But that's my point. You're treating Trey Hendrickson like this dude's not a good player. This dude's one of your best players on the roster,
I'll
bro.
never understand it.
Why are you treating this guy like he is a mid-ass football player in the NFL?
I don't
know.
I
understand that this guy is not J.J. Watt level performer, right? This guy's not, hell, he's probably not even T.J. Watt right now, right?
Not
but
even
he can
TJ
play,
Watt.
bro. He can play.
Yeah, I'm surprised by it. I am. UW fan Jim, what's up with you? Loner phone, hello to you. Yeah, Red Wine says at least the Bengals didn't hire a massage parlor freak at QB.
And I agree. There are levels to it. I do agree with that comment. As much tongue-in-cheek as that is, I agree. The Bengals are not making an ass of themselves overall. They had a bad year. Then they had bounced back this past season. Like, they're clearly heading in the right direction. Joe is clearly healthy again. Jamar's there. T's there. Like, everything's cool. But I feel like this is, hey, we paid the guys that really matter, and Trey's the one on the outside looking in. Hey, we paid Dak, paid Lamb, and now Micah, I'm in no hurry. That's what owners do, bro. Like, 5 years from now, the Chicago Bears are going to be pulling this same crap. Oh,
Yeah,
it's time to extend Caleb Williams. Well, yeah, Caleb, we want to work directly with you, bro. Like,
I agree.
Come on.
And before we get to the tush push, we are now just 30 minutes away from giving away another Amazon gift card, the last of the day. Advocates donations on Venmo. There's always one guy right?
What are we doing? What happened?
Kent Reed DMs me and says, Monty, you're misleading people. 1 in 6 kids aren't hungry. They have food insecurity.
Oh,
Let's go to the definition. Do you guys see what I deal with? This is why I don't read my DMs.
How are we in a place where
One
you're like
1 in 6 kids, 1 in 6 children in America experience food insecurity, meaning they struggle to access enough nutritional food.
what are we talking about, dude?
So wait, let me get this right. I said 1 in 6 kids are hungry. They don't know where their next meal's coming from. The U.S. Department of Agriculture measures food insecurity as which is when a household struggles to provide enough food for everybody. That is the exact definition of food insecurity.
No.
So I'm misleading people by saying 1 in 6 kids are hungry. And what if I said 1 in 6 kids are hungry? They don't know where their next meal is coming from. You said it's 1 in 6 kids are experiencing food insecurity. I'm misleading people. The Department of Agriculture defines food insecurity as struggling to provide enough food for everyone in the household.
What are we doing, dude? Why are you trying to get cute with food insecurity?
What?
That's all that is. You tried to get cute using this term, not knowing what the term meant. Come on, bro.
I give up.
I would highly recommend, with all due respect, if you want to jump in my guy's DM and try to get cute with terminology, probably shouldn't try to get cute with terminology around the promotion we're running to help kids with the advocates.
We are raising money today for hungry kids. 1 in 6 kids experience food insecurity, which means they don't have access to food. There's not enough food in their house. And the advocates are partnered with the Murray Children's Pantry. And what that means is all of your donations go to advocates' donations. We don't ever see the money. It goes to their Venmo. They give all of that money to the food pantry to feed hungry kids. And what that looks like is, like, for instance, their weekend food bags. They make bags of food for kids. And they give it to them to cover their weekend food needs. Because what happens is a kid leaves school on Friday, and that's the last meal they get is the school lunch program, the school food program, because there's actually a lot of food programs that provide kids meals and snacks throughout the day. They go home and they don't have food. And hopefully they get a single meal over the weekend. The food pantry gives them a bag of food to get them through the weekend. And another program they run is they put together food boxes that supply a week's worth of food for families. And they give it to the family so that the whole family can eat, including the kids. That's how important this is. 1 in 6 kids is hungry tonight. And it's amazing in this country that this is the issue. Get on Venmo. Make a donation, advocates donation, send Jake a screenshot on Instagram. And we need $300 in the next 30 minutes. That's what we need. Oh, you sent me one. Okay, great. Well, that's what we need is we need to get $300 to meet our $1,000 goal. That's what we need. And I don't know why we're tripping today. There's probably just too many. It will be in downloads. It will be. Let me get it. We have so many. Which one is it? It
is going to be $25. Starts with Monty.
Okay. Monty's Kids Looking. No, we read that one. Man, I apologize. I am completely botching this. There it is there. I am completely botching this. It's amazing to me that we want to nitpick over terminology that means the exact same thing. That's why. Oak State James. Monty, Oak State fans aren't hungry for a winning team. We are conference title insecure. Okay, wow. Wow. Okay, so now for once, my guy.
Good material
for
right
once,
there,
my
dude.
guy.
This is good material.
This puts Oak State James in the lead.
Kent, thank you for providing Oak State James with a joke, dude.
Thank you. Oak State James now has the lead. We're just $275 from our goal.
Good material right there. See, you waited for an opportunity on the program to come up. You waited to make your donation, so that you could have a fire, description portion, a fire memo section.
Look at the top of his. First of all, how many Facebook accounts do you have? Second of all, what is 5G UC? Is that the IPF cell signal you're on?
Okay, now I have to know. Hold on, let me see.
I don't know what UC means.
What is 5G UC?
I don't know what that means.
5G UC, or quote, ultra capacity, refers to T-Mobile's advanced 5G network utilizing mid-band and or high-band frequencies, offering faster speeds and enhanced connectivity for data-sensitive applications like Oak State James Pedo Priest books on Kindle.
I'm saying, nice job. Fat Jesus, 1 in 6 listeners are not douchebags. 1 in 6 listeners are experiencing douchebag.
Oh my God, dude. Please keep them coming, bro. I love this right now.
Mike Smith sounds like some of those people who always try to minimize issues of the poor. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. Lopes fan Gabe, did he just Monty food for kids? Yes. Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Monty. I am amazed that we're trying to figure out what the difference between being hungry and food insecure is.
You are so good at this, bro. I give you so much credit.
F the right off, loser. That's what I'm saying.
Why don't you fuck off?
I mean, come on. Loner Phone claims he paid $50.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Are we doing this again?
Come on.
Are we doing this again?
We're 21 minutes away here, dude.
Did you send a screenshot? Because right now, Oak State James is in the lead.
I have to agree. That's great material.
He's in the lead.
Phenomenal material, dude.
Has to be in the lead.
Okay, I mean, where did you DM us this time? Did you DM us on some rando platform this time?
I don't want to get into my Twitter DMs.
Yeah, did he DM you, or like what are we?
He did not Twitter DM me.
What are we doing?
You gotta send the screenshot. You gotta send the screenshot.
And please don't send it on Signal, okay?
Why bring that up? Why bring that up? Kim Coulter, hello. Forgot y'all moved back to the afternoon. What's the cause you're asking for donations towards today? I'll throw 100 if it is for kids. Yes, please. On Venmo, here's what we're doing today. And I'm glad you asked, Kim Coulter. Make a donation on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. That's the Venmo account. We are trying to provide meals for hungry kids. 1 in 6 kids in this country is food insecure. That means they don't have enough food to eat. They're hungry. And the advocates are partnered with Murray Children's Pantry, which means they provide meals for kids and families. We are coming into spring. We are coming into summer. We know that childhood hunger explodes over the summer because kids aren't going to school. So they don't have access to school lunch plans. They don't have access to their traditional patterns of finding food. It becomes a larger problem. What the Children's Pantry does is they pack boxes and bags to give to families and kids to make sure that those kids have food. The advocates do a great job. I talk about this all the time. No matter where you're listening to the show, they are working in your community. They are available to you at theadvocates.com. And I just ask you guys, we are so close. We are so close. We are just now $275 away. So you can make a huge difference today. And all you have to do today is get to the advocates on Venmo, advocates donations, get to the advocates on Venmo, and all you need to do is make a donation. Send us a screenshot of your donation. And then in about 20 minutes, we are going to give away a $50 Amazon gift card. Right now, I got to tell you, and it's hard to say this out loud, Oak State James is in the lead. It is even a shocking.
He's about to get smacked, though.
With this one right here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's about to get smacked.
Yes. By Maury.
Maury's back in now.
Yes. And this is, I would like to point out, this is incredible out of Maury.
This is Maury's 4th donation, I believe.
Yeah.
Maury Alvarez for $5. Monty Kids. Oak State James is just any team insecure, not just Oak State.
See what he did there?
Oh, that is so good. He is Kansas City Chiefs insecure, right?
That's right. That's
okay,
right.
so -5 more. We are now just $270 away. We can do this, you guys.